Robin, where are you? Perhaps if I just try one more...
Come on, Star. He's gonna pick up. He'd have done it by now. Besides, you're kind of giving me a headache.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Oh, you're bad friends. We should never have left Robin to do battle alone.
Hey, that's what I said.
Yeah, especially since Slade's big
Wait, he was
dad
talking as a
dud.
monkey. Hey, guys, he was talking as a monkey.
I should have known that thing was a fake.
I'm not really too familiar with chronoton detonators, so enlighten me how you should know it's a fake. Is it lacking that new detonator smell?
But why? Why did Slade wish to separate us from Robin?
And if the detonator was a decoy...
What was Slade's real plan?
Not to be pedantic, but isn't it a bit contradictory to be like, Slade wanted us to separate from Robin, then be like, why was the bomb a decoy? Where the fuck did you come from? Interesting, we never see Slade use these explosive harangues, or any harangues. But I guess that's a little Slade thing anyways. Raven, now is not the time to aura farm. Pretty interesting choice to have Robin hidden. I mean, I get like it's supposed to be like the Titans are finding out, but to have him completely blacked out in a decently well-lit area is kind of like they're trying to hide it from the audience as well.
No way.
Robin, why are you...
This scene here is pretty weird because if you watch it in motion, it looks like as if Starfire blows up a disc because the whole green explosion, it cutting to her, and a disc just looks like something blew it up, if that makes sense. But she looks shocked in this frame and isn't in a pose to signal she threw her bolt. So I'm pretty sure she didn't do anything and the disc just blew up on its own. Oh, no, don't everyone jump to catch her. Jeez, Robin. Do you not teach them to help a brother or sister out?
This deal can't last forever.
It can. And it will. The Titans still have no idea that my chronoton detonator was more than a decoy.
You know, I think this is a pretty creative way to give a recap like a last time on, even though it comes off as a bit exposition-y.
Unless, of course, you disobey me.
Dude, it's weird seeing only the black side of Slade's face.
Sooner or later, you'll let your guard down. I will get that controller. And the instant they're out of danger, you will pay.
Great way to get him to let his guard down. There's no way just getting the remote will just end it like that.
I monitored your vital signs during the mission. Elevated heart rate, adrenaline, endorphins. You won't admit it, but at some level, you enjoyed stealing from me.
And this is an interesting concept Robin just never denies. You know, being older, I feel like it's more along the lines he doesn't want to be caught by his friends or just doesn't want to be caught at all working for Slade. Or maybe Robin gets a thrill out of just being a vigilante, putting on a mask and doing whatever he wants in the city. But I don't think Teen Titans is the show for that. And I don't mean because it's made for a younger audience. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, like, I guess breaking down the anatomy of a superhero would care for more critical thinking. But in the sense that it would need a whole season to really explore something like that. Or maybe like half a season.
You're going to keep stealing, Robin. And you're going to keep getting that thrill. And sooner or later, you will see things my way.
Wait, does Slade just steal to steal?
Who knows? I might even become like a father to you.
Slade isn't a father. He's a father that stepped up. But in all seriousness, it's interesting seeing a father-like side from Slade. I think that's what makes him an interesting character because he isn't just evil. I mean, well, yeah, he's pretty fucking evil, but there's a story there behind him that I feel like would have been interesting to explore.
I already have a father.
And yep, well, that's one of the just most clear references of Batman.
Robin is our friend, and nothing could ever make him betray us. Nothing.
But something did.
Dang, Raven, you look genuinely sad here.
Disgruntled radioactive clone.
Some of the slapstick humor is pretty good.
Robin's a criminal now, and just like any other criminal.
The Teen Titans have to bring him down.
Jesus, you would think the subtext is they gotta kill him or something. The words here are never fully shown together, but this is Wayne Enterprises. Yeah, the Bruce guy. And it's pretty brave and bold of them to have this location for Robin to rob. And I'll talk about that later. But green is an interesting color scheme for this, because it looks more like a Lex Luthor building.
Titans, go!
You know, after watching the Titans show, I think it's muscle memory for my smile to slowly go down after I see Beast Boy turn into a tiger.
Fight to win, Robin. Use the thermal blaster. Do it.
Robin, you are my best friend. I cannot be in a world where we must fight.
I really have nothing to say other than this shot is really nice.
You won't attack. My probes will.
This moment in context is really cruel. I mean, yeah, it seems more along the lines of mildly discomforting, but that's because they probably didn't want to traumatize the audience by seeing their favorite heroes agonizing in pain. But still, most of the times, the villains in the show usually want to defeat the Titans because they get in their way or just get revenge on the Titans. And there's usually a gimmick around it, so that way it comes off as more lighthearted. But no, Slade is the only villain who just straight up tortures the Teen Titans in the most painful way.
I'm sorry.
I introduce to you the most useless object in the Teen Titans show. That beam does fuck all. Also, how is Slade watching him? I thought it was because of some sort of camera in his mask, but no, there's camera angles where camera's never been before.
My apprentice is progressing even faster than I had hoped. All he needed was a little motivation.
And who is he talking to?
Motivate this!
Yeah, you can tell Robin's really mad because he can come up with something better than that. And dude, that shit scared Slade. Anyways, I actually do like how seeing his friends getting tortured, Robin drew the line and decided to completely try and cut ties with Slade. It really shows how painful it must have been for the Titans and says a lot about Robin's relationship with the Titans' character and leadership quality. I really like how there are moments when you can see the button because shit, it's probably easier to not draw it. And it's not even just here where they draw it.
The enhanced sensors are picking up radio interference on the nanoscopic scale.
Aw, sweet. So now that they know about it, that means they're probably going to try to flush them out before their next confrontation with Slade, right?
I made you my apprentice. All my knowledge, all my power, all for you. But the only thing you care about is your worthless little friends.
There's also a certain creep factor to Slade because he genuinely believes Robin will become his apprentice. It kind of gets into the line of stalker and predatory behavior, but we'll hold that thought for way later.
Good boy. And from now on, I'd like you to call me Master.
Robin, attack!
Okay, this is kind of funny, but it also goes with my point.
Robin, attack!
Mahoraga! Help! Help! Help me!
Get out of here! Go! You don't know what those beams did to you!
Dude, we know.
And we don't care.
We are your friends, Robin. We are not leaving without you.
How very touching.
Ha, Slade, little do you know, they flushed out all the nano...
No.
Nice thinking, Robin. Destroy the thing controlling them. Only I would probably try destroying it later, but... You gotta respect that Slade marks his nanobots. I guys gotta stay on brand.
New deal, Slade. If I lose my friends, you lose your apprentice. And I know how you hate to lose.
Oh wow, it will just end like that.
And I know how you hate to lose.
I mean, it's a cool callback and speaks towards Slade's character, but holy shit, Robin, stop betting on your friends' lives.
Do something! Do something, Rev!
I know this isn't my style, but we just kicked Slade's butt. Shouldn't we celebrate or something?
It's the explosion!
Sorry I asked.
Cool, you can see Raven smiling here.
Everything okay?
Okay, I don't know, dude. She felt like she almost lost her best friend. She was tortured and shot at by her best friend. Nah, I think she's okay.
But there's one big difference between me and Slade. He doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, he is a big fucking loser. Alright, time to finally unload. So this might not come to you as a shock, but I'm not that big of a fan of a we are a lot alike trope they try to do with Slade and Robin. I mean, yes, Robin lists the qualities they have, but you can find that in anybody with a leadership role. And I wouldn't be saying anything if the case was that Slade was looking for somebody with a sense of greatness. but it's like they're trying to do the whole dark reflection thing. But it honestly just doesn't work for me. Like when Beast Boy says,
Just because we're trying to catch Slade doesn't mean you have to act like him.
we have never seen him this manic or harass anybody. I'm talking about Slade. Or when Slade says,
You hate losing as much as I do.
a lot of people don't like to lose. I think the only time a comparison works is whenever Starfire said,
Whoever Slade is, you and he are similar. Slade did not trust you, and you did not trust us.
because, yeah, that's pretty specific similarity, and that shows a parallel between them. But the rest of the similarities are so shallow that it feels like you could swap out Robin for Cyborg, and it will still work. And that's mainly because of the fact Slade really has no history with Robin. I figure now is the best time to go over Slade. And well, Slade isn't just Slade. His full name is Slade Joseph Wilson, but goes by a name people are probably more familiar with, Deathstroke. But Cartoon Network figured that would be too much, so they called him Slade. But Slade surprisingly works, especially when characters say his name.
Slade.
But I'm going to continue calling him Slade because we're going over the show. And in the comics, he's a mercenary / assassin. And that was probably changed because of the same reason of his name, or they just figured it worked better with the story. And his history goes even deeper because in the comics, he is a father of 3 kids. First being Rosa Wilson, aka Ravager, who is his only daughter and actually appears in Teen Titan Go comics, a series of comics that follow the animated show. And just to make this clear, I will not be referencing anything from the TV show comics. Sorry, I just haven't read them like I've watched the show, so I would feel a bit dishonest talking about them. But anyways, her design is pretty sick, and I would love to see her in the actual show. Maybe as like a revenge kind of thing, or maybe she joins the Titans. But that would have been too similar to Terra. But I digress. Second, we have Joseph Wilson, who actually appears in the show. And without cheating, I want you to think of who that could possibly be. And if you guess Jericho, you either really know your comics or you cheated, because there's nothing in the show that even hints at them being related. So it's pretty up in the air. Third, but not least, is Grant Wilson, aka the original Ravager. And he's dead. In the comics, and is the entire reason Slade holds a vendetta against the Titans. But in the show, Slade makes no comment on them, or really anybody. So if the show's comics are canonical to the show, Slade has 1 child, 2 if you want to count Jericho, but, he's up in the air. It does bring up a curious question, though, if Slade was a father in the show, but either disowned or lost a kid. Because, man, he is obsessed with finding an apprentice. Man, he just, really wants to see himself in somebody. Shit, man, that's probably why he tries to force qualities of himself into Robin, which I think would be a pretty interesting take on it. But anyways, the way he talks about discipline, it's not some basic, you will follow my orders because I am evil. It's like he wants Robin to learn to like the lifestyle, rather than learning to submit because it's hopeless. And it adds great depth to Slade's character, because it shows he has more sides to him. He wants to have a connection with Robin, and I believe he even cares about Robin to an extent. Like, he wants to see Robin grow. But I just wish there was some context behind why. Shoot, maybe we could have gotten something of Robin leaving Batman and Slade losing his son to really get that connection going. Or maybe a Slade and Batman rivalry thing going on. Even though I'm really glad they decided to portray him as the Teen Titans villain he is, and not a Batman adversary. And I get Glenn Murakami, the show's creator, wanting to show the Robin without Batman, but it's pretty crazy to have Wayne Enterprises and not do anything with it. I mean, you can assume it's some psychological warfare, emphasis on assume, because no one bats an eye. So it's really just headcanon at that point. Enough with the could-have-beens, maybes, and what-ifs. How does Slade hold up as a villain in the first season? Well, he's really good. I mean, he's calculating, cold, terrifying, with an interesting enough character that sets him apart from the other villains. But there's so much more to Slade to talk about that I have to cut myself off until season 2. And, by the way, when I say the lack of in-universe history bothers me, I mean when they try to do the 2 sides of the same coins thing. As we'll see, they'll build their own history throughout the show. But anyways, what I always do, the show versus the comics. Which design do I like more? And I gotta say, I really kind of screwed the pooch on me doing just the old designs versus the new design, or not new, but the show's designs. Because a lot of characters go through drastic design changes. Deathstroke is a big one. But for now, just imagine I'm kind of talking about all of them, but I'm just using the old comics, but whatever. Anyways, which one do I like more? And this will probably come to you as a shock, but I choose Teen Titans Go. And this is definitely the only time I will ever say this, I promise. And as much as I love Slade in the show, his design is a lot to be desired. It's very tactical, which fits his character, but it's very generic. And his character is saved because of how well written he is in Ron Perlman. Like, his robots look like the grunts, and he looks like the mini-boss at most. And if the Teen Titans Go design didn't exist, I might have given it to the show because it fits his character, but Teen Titan Go just combines the best of both worlds. Unfortunately, I'm not an artist, and I don't have much time on my hands, but imagine the Teen Titans Go design in the original series style, and tell me that isn't top 3 character designs in the show. And no, it's not 3 or 2. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed my video. And the reason it took so long to get out was because I honestly wasn't too proud of the ending. Like, I'm not saying I didn't put my best foot forward, but I felt like I could have done more. I felt like I could have rewritten, but I didn't want to take too long on it, so I just decided to, again, I didn't not try with this one, but I just felt like listening to it more, reading it more, the script, I felt like I could have done more. And I might just someday do a retrospective of this and critique myself, because looking at it, I definitely have some points I'm starting to be like, I could have elaborated, or I could have, or maybe I just totally said my point wrong. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great night. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great life. Peace, peace.